Hello, my friends. Welcome to Lindy's Magpie Reads. Today, I'm going to do a short review of this cookbook, Natalia Rudin's Cooking Fast and Slow. She is a UK private chef, and she has, I think, quite a social media following under Nat's Nourishments. Anyway, recently I read Ruby Tandoh's book, All Consuming: Why We Eat the Way We Eat Now. It's about British food culture, and she has quite a big section on the cookbook industry. I'm going to talk more about that book at some future video, but relevant to today, she divided cookbooks into three categories. There are the dream cookbooks that are more about the ideas about food rather than the recipes, in memoir stuff, that kind of thing. Then there are the diet books, and then there's the problem solvers. And I think this one falls into that category. Problem solvers are things like time constraints. So you want to make something in 30 minutes or 5 ingredients. And this one is divided into, you can see 15 minutes or less, 30 minutes or less, an hour or less. And then there are some other categories like breakfast fast, breakfast slow. There's some sweet things. The photos in here are appealing, but nothing too special. And I found it interesting that there isn't a photographer who's credited. There's a photo shoot team, and it's first names only. My favorite photo in here is this one for a smoothie, tropical smoothie bowl. Isn't that lovely? I made a couple of recipes in here. The golden dal, which uses red lentils and split yellow peas, turned out great. And the other one, it's called healing black dal. And that one has another mix of beans in it and coconut milk. I would call it dal makhni. It's nice and rich. It's very good. And I found it interesting that both of those dal recipes are in the 1 hour or less category, because I think of dal as being 30 minutes or less. I make it about once a week when I'm tired and I just want to put on the rice cooker, and the dal cooks in less than 30 minutes, about the same time as the rice, actually. One of the ways that I evaluate a cookbook is by looking at a basic recipe. And in this one, I was looking at her simple Dijon vinaigrette. And the first thing that caught my eye is that this is for a really small quantity based on the ingredients. And then when I looked at makes approximately 1 1/4 cups, I couldn't figure out how she would have got to that amount. So I suspect that there's an error in the recipe here. On the next page, there's a honey mustard dressing, and it makes supposedly the same quantity as the simple Dijon vinaigrette. But if you look at the ingredients, there's twice as much lemon, 3 times as much mustard, 6 times as much honey, 25% more olive oil, and 3 times as much vinegar. And yet they're both supposed to make 1 1/4 cups. So yeah, something strange there. I did look to see if there was an errata published online. Did not find anything, but I did find on the publisher's website, you can see 10 of the recipes. Of course, you need to buy the cookbook if you want to make them. But if you're interested, you can look at the link that I'll include. Other things that I noticed is that a lot of her pasta recipes use the same kind of pasta, which is referred to with two different names, malfada and malfadine. And as far as I know, this is for the names apply equally. So it's kind of strange that both are used depending on the recipe. Another curious thing is how many mushroom recipes there are in a row. Shawarma mushroom flatbreads, truffled white beans and wild mushrooms, creamy mixed mushroom farfalle, miso mushroom gnocchi, chipotle mushroom tacos, and smashed miso lima beans and crispy soy mushrooms, and then miso and mixed mushroom congee. So that was 7 recipes out of 11 in a row that were all mushroom recipes. And in the sweet things at the end, there are 10 recipes. 3 of them are bananas. There's a banana bread recipe and 2 banana muffins recipes. So again, a little bit curious. My overall assessment of this cookbook is this would be useful if you need a basic cookbook and you don't have access to the internet, because these recipes are also the kind that are really easy to just search, I want a banana muffin recipe. So it's kind of like comfort food, I think. Nothing wrong really with this cookbook. Well, aside from some small quibbles that I have, I would say check out her social media if you're interested. Follow the link and see if these recipes seem like ones that you absolutely must have, or borrow it from the library like I did. Thanks for watching.